So today's wisdom topic is Awakening of Consciousness by Dr. Sue Mortal. Awakening reflects the three distinct levels of consciousness. It has two sides, like a coin. The back side of the coin is tails, which represents the protective personality. Here, we are in constant survival mode, employing the reactive defaults in our system, spending all of our energy on strategizing for safety and protecting ourselves. We only reach the front side of the coin heads when we surrender our attachment to our nervous system's reactive patterns or circuitry and build new, higher capacity circuitry that allows us to fully activate our creative genius, our creatorship. It's on the front side of the coin that we claim and live from the place of our true power, consciously and actively creating our life as the soulful self. Stage 1, backside of the coin, victimhood. Stage 1 is the perspective of survival or victimhood. Simply put, this is where we see life as happening to us and believe we can't have any impact. We are completely unaware of ourselves as influencers or creators and therefore feel a strong sense of fatalism and resignation. We believe that we are unable to do what we want because of opposing outside forces that seem to be beyond our control. In fact, we don't even know we are unhappy or that there is any other way to be. We may simply be going through the motions, believing that this is just what we have because this is the way life is. For example, in stage 1, you might blame your unhappiness and feelings of unfulfillment on being born in unfortunate circumstances, not having the qualification you wanted, marrying too young and not getting to pursue a particular passion here, or simply not having enough money to do the things you really want to do. This paradigm is characterized by anger, fear, hopelessness, helplessness, resignation, fatalism, struggle to survive, and the like. Its tagline is Life is happening to me and I have no control over it. This is just the way life is. You may not even put this into words. The perception just unfolds as though it is the truth. Stage 2, Self Help. This is where most people today find themselves. It is a big step up in consciousness from stage 1, but it's still based in operating reactively out of a subconscious perception of inadequacy as the protective personality rather than in operating creatively from a place of knowing our true power and magnificence as the soulful self. In this stage, we no longer accept our miserable state as the way life is. Instead, we awaken to the sense that we are in pain and to the possibility that perhaps we don't have to be. Instead of being resigned victims, we get the idea that something could change. We could be happier or healthier or more respected and honored. And so we start to look at what we can do to make those changes occur. In this paradigm, we still see life, both good and bad, as largely to us, but at least we believe that there is something we can do about it. We realize that often we can improve or even fix our situation, and possibly by choosing some of our thoughts and actions, exert some control over what we experience. With the right mindset, we can make the best of a bad situation, and in doing so, we might find some benefits or gift in our pain. The tagline for this page is Though life is happening to me, I choose to make the best of it. It's the view. Something is wrong, but I will fix it. It won't get the best of me. I call this self help because in this stage, we work hard to heal what we believe is wrong, missing, or even broken within us or in others and strive to be happier. Many of our coping skills, therapy sessions, and self help books and programs are operating at this level of consciousness. We diagnose a problem and then get busy treating it. Continuing to look for and find problems and spending our resources fixing them only makes us better at problem solving. Unfortunately, this leaves us needing problems to fix in order to know who we are. We don't build our capacity to perceive joy and wholeness without depending on the contrast of pain. We never get ahead of the game. On a deep level, in stage two, we are actually still viewing ourselves as coming up short in life. It's only that we now have some tools to compensate for it. We are still not thinking like cannot fully serve us moving forward. Fortunately, we can attain a level of consciousness that takes us far beyond making the best of whatever life hands us. It's the front side of the coin where we experience who we truly are in all our power and glory. Stage 3, front side of the coin, creatorship. This is the place of living in the soulful self's mode of creative genius or creatorship. Here you begin to see that there actually is no such thing as bad circumstance to make the best out of or find a silver lining in, since there never was anything wrong, missing, or broken in the first place. Even though the silver lining is a beautiful concept and helped us when we were trapped on the backside of the coin, it's a very incomplete, it's very incomplete. Instead, on the front side, we know that every challenge that happens serves us, and we sense, feel, and know that we have played at the highest level of the soul, a role in its very creation. There is a purpose for everything, and that purpose is to awaken ourselves to our true greatness. Yes, we are playing a role in our own awakening process. The greater part of us is inviting the smaller part to meld with it, generating the experience of wholeness that we seek. From this perspective, life is always unfolding in our favor to serve our expansion, despite how it might seem or feel in the moment. There are no exceptions. Our protective personality begins to melt into this truth as it recognizes that if things were supposed to go differently in our life, they would have. Rather than making the best of a situation, which implies something bad has happened and we should work at turning it into something good, what if the truth is that situation, no matter what it is, truly was never bad in the first place? For now, I'd just like to ponder what if you're empowered to see that every event in your life truly occurs for no other reason than your eventual benefit? And what if you knew that you are playing a role in this very process so that you might awaken yourself to a greater reality, one with more freedom and empowerment? What if your greatest pain point was actually hiding the greatest gift you would ever receive? This understanding would indeed change the quality of your life on earth, which of course is why you came in here. If you are empowered to see your life this way, as happening entirely only for your eventual benefit, you'd be living in the flow and collaboration with life. You'd see the bigger plan at work behind the scenes. You'd much more quickly see the gains in any loss. You'd see how losing that job, for example, resulted in finding your true fulfilling vocation. You'd find that the injury that left you unable to perform taught you compassion, a deeper sense of self. You'd start to embrace the loss of a beloved as a way to deepen your heart to levels you might never have known otherwise. You'd find yourself in profound gratitude for life and all of its mysteries. Ultimately, you'd stop seeing losses as losses at all. You'd know and see that with every happening, no matter how difficult, there comes a benefit equal to or greater than the suffering it entails. Knowing this, your suffering would dramatically decrease and maybe even cease to exist at all. Interpreting the happening of our lives through the lens of trust, knowing that it's all good and everything is in our favor in the moment they occur, saves us from having to go through the process over time of forgiving ourselves or others for the situations we find ourselves in. This is the viewpoint of soulful self, whose tagline is that Everything happens in my life is always in my favor, and I created it on some higher level of my own consciousness for the purpose of discovering my own magnificence. This was an instantaneous happening, however, not one I tried to create or practice. This and the other openings were spontaneous. They happened without my mind's efforts. While this lack of mental trying would eventually become an important part of my work in helping thousands of people in that moment, I simply enjoyed the ride. All of humanity goes through the loss of identifying or missing their completeness. It is our collective destiny or challenge to integrate or put back together our dispersed energy and to awaken from our cosmic amnesia to remember who we really are. This is why I refer to life as Project Awakening. The purpose of living is to continue to enliven the higher frequency energy of the soulful self, to continue to come into the body with all of our spirit self, so we can know and experience our wholeness here on earth. As we integrate each dispersed aspect of energy within our system, we build new circuitry and we expand into a greater experience of ourselves. Once our energy is unified, we know who we really are, and there is no more existential pain of feeling wrong, broken, or like something is missing within us. We feel completely complete. This is the article published in our Spiritual India Magazine Masters. And this material is accepted from the book The Energy Codes, The Seven Steps to Awaken by Dr. Sue Motter. Thank you all for listening.